afterwards, if you guys want to hear about our discussion, if it's Nogea, then we can get into it.
Yeah.
But no need to rehash it. But there's this word mazel. It's a funny, weird word. You could call it a controversial word. It's an ambiguous word. It's a technical word to some people. What is it? So I'll break my number one rule. And usually that is, I've learned not to ask questions from the crowd, but I'm going to do it anyways. How would you guys define mazel? What is mazel? You're here to share. You saw it advertised. You came. You had me at your home. What is mazel? What are you expecting it to be? I want to hear your answers. What is it? You don't have to be right or wrong. It's not a quiz.
No. So,
just in expectation of what is it?
So 2 examples. I mean, the usual one, you think muzzle, the instinctive one is like luck.
Yeah.
However, having probably from Rabbi Tatz probably heard it, but it's from the word like nozel, which
Very
is
good.
like
All right, so
blowing,
very good. That's actually the answer.
Yeah.
That's very good.
But it's like, even so, it's still...
What is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So I'm very glad you said that, because that is the answer. How do you say a cold? Like I had a cold. Hachu, I had a cold. How do you say that in Hebrew? Nozelet.
Nozelet, yeah.
Nozelet. Why they call it a nozelet? Not that I hold by modern Hebrew. Nozel, the flow, the drip. Right? It literally means when you go to the doctor, you have like a nasal drip. Right? So I'm going to bring in a lot of different angles, because why not? Right? There is an upper higher world. Just give me affirmative, right? In class, when we have an online yeshiva, I say type 1. Right? So give me like a 1. You know, there's a concept of an upper higher world. You with me? 1? Yeah? 1? All right. So there's something called God. There is a God. Right? Obvious, easy answers. Okay? So God first interfaces with this upper higher world. To keep it general and vague. Right? That exists, correct? And somehow, here we are at this table in the dome house, and we're going to call this the lowest world. I know you guys are probably familiar with these kind of terms, especially Rabbi Tatz works with these kind of terms. So there's a God, an upper world, and we can agree that we are the lowest world, either by logic or we've been told that. Right? And when I teach, I like to give certain established truths and agreed truths to build upon. In between us and that higher world, can you agree that there is something going on in between? Whatever it is. Other worlds, other realities, angelic realms. Something is going on between us, the higher world, and God.
I'm not sure what it sounds like there's a middle world.
In Kabbalah, there's 4 worlds. Atzilus,
Yes.
Bria, Yetzirah, Asiya.
Okay.
I mentioned in paraphrase terms Atzilus and Asiya.
Okay.
So we're saying in between is Bria and Yetzirah.
Okay.
To get technical.
Okay.
Right? But we're not aware of that. I don't see Michael on his harp right now. I see David in his guitar, which is a little different. And we can believe that there's an upper, higher world, right? Basic Torah belief system. And there's a God, right? Affirmative?
Yep.
So, somehow, and I'll keep this very vague, and I'm gonna tighten it up as we go. Somehow we get stuff. That's also agreed. Stuff. Just stuff. So this book is an amazing book. This is how I started off with David. This is where I really got tight on these ideas. This is called Otzer HaMazel, or Encyclopedia of Mazel. It's not written by anybody. It's like an encyclopedia. It's a collection of the most, not famous, but yesodot, like real core ideas and ideologies of Mazel through 2,000 years of scholarship. Right? So he put it together. It's a brilliant book. Really brilliant. He outlines all of the concepts. His name, David asked me that too. I forget his name. He's a guy, he's not a known guy. His grandfather was a Hasidic Rebbe. He dedicated the book to his grandfather. It's one of those things, some people do amazing things and they're not necessarily overtly amazing people. But he's one of these secret hidden guys who, he didn't write this. He just compiled it. So you're not expecting a Gaon in writing. And he knew what to put in. And he has a billion Haskamas. That's an amazing thing. There's a ton, as you can see, Haskama after Haskama after Haskama. So he's bringing you everything. Mazel. There's certain klalim, yesodot, laws, basic laws of mazel. When I first got interested in mazel, I think it's not a surprise that there are these laws. I think anyone that meditates on mazel will come to a revelation of laws. It's like Newton's third law, right? Certain science has laws. Spiritual science has laws too. Why do bad things happen to good people? So when you answer that, there's a billion answers. When you answer one of them, you have a law built in your head, right? Why did I get hit by a car? I didn't look before I crossed the street. So rule number one, when going to the UK from America, it says on the street, look, was it left or right? I always forget. Because Americans do the opposite. So here, to tell you which way to look so you don't get hit by a car. Right? That's a law, and you learn that lesson. Mazel comes with law. Mazel exists in three things. This is like a law. It's all through the Talmud. Banim, Chaim, and Mazel. Now, those are loose laws. So let's translate them. What is Chaim?
Life.
Your life. So don't be rigid and try to say, what is the meaning of life? Enter your answer here. You know what life is. How many times have you guys ever found yourself saying, that's life? Have you ever said those terms?
Yep.
That's life. All right, whatever that is. Whatever, just stop, pause, time out. When you said that to your brain, that's life. That's mazel. Next, banim, children, offspring, legacy, family. Have you ever been familiar with or acquainted with these things? You have. Okay, that's mazel. And mazon. Have you ever had dinner? Have you ever had food?
Yeah.
Have you ever worked and made $1 or a pound? Mm-hmm. You've had these things? Okay, so you've had mazon, sustenance. So all of you are aware of mazon, sustenance in your own lives, correct? You've had legacy, family, children, offspring, and you've had life happen to you. That's called mazel. Meaning when mazel is coming down into our world, however you recognize it, if you can say, that's life, that's my kid, that's a pound I made to bring food to the table. All those circumstances that you live, now meditate about your day. Think about what you did the last 24 hours. Everyone tell me when you're there. 24 hours. Think about the mazel by this definition as it's come in. Have any of you had issues with your wives or your kids in the last 24 hours? Have you eaten or had money, worked, shopped, considered what you need? Needs, have you dealt with those?
Yeah.
Have you had life happen to you?
Yes.
Where you say, that's life, what can you do about it?
Yep.
So that was mazel. Think about that. Think about that. Somehow in your lowly existence down here, God brought you stuff. Whatever that means, we're gonna define it. Don't worry. Allow yourself just to consider when you said, that's life. I don't have enough money. Or that the bread tastes good, honey. Whatever it is, that was God bringing that to you. So now, there's we're going to bring a lot of concepts. Don't worry about tying it together. It will get tied together. There's mazel. We can agree on that. And there's something that's not mazel, called merit. There's merit and there's mazel. What is merit?
I deserve something because I did something amazing.
Okay,
merit.
so good. Say it again.
I deserve something because I did something amazing.
Now, let me fill in the blanks with my personal story. I am amazing because I got on a plane and I went to London and I showed up at David Dome's house and I made an ad on Everything K and 3 guys came to my shiur. And tomorrow I will go to Cape Town. Did I have a shiur?
Yeah.
Did people come?
Yeah.
Can you erase that in any way from my life?
No.
So I merited to give a Torah class in Edgeware. Is that a fact?
Fantastic.
Right?
Yep.
And it is a merited thing. I got on a plane. You can't undo that. And da-da-da-da-da-da. I merited it. I went to school, to yeshiva for a long time, and I got myself on a level that I had the guts to give a class in a foreign country and not be embarrassed about what I'm giving over. I merited a level. You cannot deny me of that. Do all of you has something that is undeniable that you've attained, and it cannot be undone.
Yes.
And that was from the work that you merited it.
Yep.
You didn't ask God to give it to you per se. You merited it.
But do we merit it? I don't
Well,
know.
well, I merited it. I didn't make you come. I didn't even know you were coming.
No.
I merited it. God said, David Katz, you have enough credibility as a rabbi, and that when we see the ad, we will come due to the merit of your hard work. Now, obviously, the terms can cross and mix and match, and we're going to show how mazel and merit really is. There's a fine line.
Or is he just granting it to you, giving you that as a...
Right, but look at it from the perspective that I worked hard to earn it.
Yeah.
I didn't have to call you on the phone and solicit the sale.
Okay.
Right? You came strictly by my merit.
Okay.
I worked hard. I made an ad. If you read between the lines of the ad, hi, my name is Rabbi David Katz. I'm a qualified rabbi coming from Israel. I have credibility and credentials. If this would suit you well, but it was merit. I didn't hustle in the phone book. Hi, this is right. Different deal. Okay, now, what if this was my job? And whatever it's worth, it's my parnassa. And I charge you guys £30 to come tonight. Different deal altogether. Because now, to get the £30 admission, right, it's a mazel issue. I have to get the money from you. So when you're coming, you're not just coming to hear a shiur based on merit. Or you can say, are you meriting to hear the shiur tonight? You could also say that. You merited it. But if it's a transaction, maybe you're not interested in it at all. I just want the £30. And you want whatever you're getting in exchange for that. Now we have a relationship. Based on the merit, there's really no relationship based on anything other than the merit. You're going to walk away saying, I merited to learn X, Y, Z. And I walk away saying, I merited to have a class at David Dome's house. But if it's financial, mazon, now it's a product. You could claim that I'm stealing from you, right? If I take your 30 pounds, I do something illicit with it, whatever it is, right? I do corrupt things. Now it's breaching the relationship. You may request the 30 pounds back. That's no longer merit. That's called bad mazel, right? I didn't merit it at all. You report me to the IRS, whatever you have in this country. That's right. It's a problem. But based on the fact that this is merit, you really have nothing over me in terms of the mazel relationship. We don't have to work on the relationship at all. It's only in our merit and continued merit if we make it a good night. You can fall asleep, all three of you. I can talk to myself. I married and had 3 guys fall asleep in front of me in Edgeware. Whatever it is. Okay. So, our lowest world, we got stuff. Every day, can we agree we're getting stuff?
Yep.
Now, it might not be the most attractive thing in the world, because you're not accustomed to viewing it with spiritual lenses, pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're not accustomed to it. I don't know. This is something I look at all the time. How many of you have ever seen water pour from a faucet? Obviously every day. Shouldn't that be a spiritual experience? The elixir of life coming from a faucet, it's like kind of clear and shiny, and wow, it's water.
Could be.
It could be, but it's not. We look at it like it's water, but it has every reason to be an amazing experience. Now, if I told you this is the water of Gan Eden coming through the faucet, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, this is intense, right? So everything is the water of Gan Eden coming into this world. In spirituality, in Torah, and Kabbalah, you call it the river of Gan Eden coming into this world. But you don't know that, because you're in the lowest world, and we're in a sunken state of existence. Kabbalah, you call it Klippa, and we're around it, unfortunately, and all of Kabbalah is designed to get rid of that and reveal the amazing experience of having Shefa come through a faucet. Something like it.
Amen.
So, we are blind, unattended, to the spirituality, but we can believe a little bit that maybe it is mazel, or another. Let's bring in another geschmack word, shefa. You know what shefa is? Shefa is the abundance of mazel. Your kids are not just flesh and blood, some kind of humanoid
Android, yeah.
Android, right? It's a shefa. A kid, again, you don't just throw the kid aside and say, it's a shefa. It's a massive movement. Traveling to different countries when I'm working made me realize, why is it a big deal? They make it a big deal about airplanes at the airport. Why do they do that? Check, they check the thing, a billion things. Because you are moving 300 lives from place to place. And when you move a life, that is like a big deal. You're not, again, it's a faucet in the water. You're not aware of it. But if you think about it for 2 seconds, isn't it a big deal when you move from place to place? Especially when you move your house, for example, when you move locations. All your stuff on a truck. You're neither here nor there. Everything is about that truck. If it wrecks or catches on fire, all your stuff's gone. So that's a big deal. But that's called shefa. When you see I remember when I moved to Israel, made Aliyah. I was a young guy, but still had an apartment and I had jobs and I had stuff. It wasn't nice stuff, but I had stuff. And I got rid of it all to make Aliyah. And I found myself at the Toronto airport at 1 a.m. on my way to Tel Aviv, and all my stuff was in 3 duffel bags. And I said, how in the world did I get in this position? That my entire life is represented by 3 duffel bags. That's all I have to show for myself. It's the same thing when you move. Imagine if you moved your house right now, you would get all your stuff in like one huge semi-truck. That's all there is to you. Kind of scary. But there's an energy behind that. The history of where you got, there's a shefa. So shefa is a lot of mazel. A lot. It's called life. Like the real elixir of life. Shefa comes down to this world. Okay, let's take a slight diversion. Right, try to hold cup. Right, I want to explain. Just pop to my head. I want to explain what shefa is. So nice angle. Okay, you just got a job, and you are flipping burgers at McDonald's or whatever you want to fill in the blank with. Right, make a respectable job, whatever it is. But you're happy. You got hired. You start tomorrow. You're the manager of McDonald's. Mazel tov. You're the manager of McDonald's. That's mazel. He worked with God with wisdom, and he connected, and he understood his talents. He's very good at flipping burgers. He's a professional at this in his own little right. And they agreed to pay him. What's the going wage here? 10 pounds an hour, 20 pounds an hour.
10 hours, is it? 10 pounds an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're happy. You're gonna have your rent paid, your bills paid. Mazel tov, David Dom. Right.
I don't understand why that you call muzzle and. What you said before was merit when people turn up to your shiur. What?
Because if Uncle Dome just gave David the job for the fact that he's a dome,
okay, well that's different.
I merited to be a dome. But when David had to go and negotiate and work and secure the job,
that's mazel.
That's mazel.
Isn't that merit? Isn't that
that's mazon?
Deserves it?
That's what he said.
It's
mazon
only
was.
if he's given it to him. If he walks in, the guy says, "Oh, you're a dome. Here, you're a dome." Mazel is effort. Merit is you already did the effort. Now it's easy.
Mazel is effort.
Mazel is the struggle and the effort.
Oh, okay.
Merit is you did the hard work and you got the mazel, and so you secured a certain level that you cannot be denied. You can't go back on it. Right?
Okay.
We've all lived.
That's the point that you can't go down.
Right? You can't. You've merited it. It's done. It's given. God gave it to you. You merited to see life past 20. Your teenage years are merited. It's done. Now you had to work like a dog to get through those teenage years, and that was mazel, but you did it. All these concepts are gonna congeal.
Because I normally define them the other way. That's why.
Right.
Muzzle is
right.
Is
so,
what,
but let me explain shefa now.
Okay.
So now David, not merit. Don't call that merit. He's not just a dome. He's the king burger flipper.
Yeah.
So he came home and told wife and kids, "Hey, everybody, it's all good. I got a job. I am the burger man. They say mazel tov for the hard work. Mazel tov. See, pun intended. Mazel tov. Okay, we're gonna talk about that too. Where's the shefa with that? He got a job. He secured it. It was not merit. It was mazel. Why is it shefa? What does he possess in abundance? I'm thinking of one word. An abundance, and I mean a real, neshama, a humanoid, to where he's not a dog or a cow. He possesses something that the animal kingdom cannot do. And he's so much of that thing, it got him a job flipping burgers. He's the burger master. Now, why am I calling it shefa? What is the abundance? He's like really diligent at flipping the burger? It's called chokhmah, wisdom. When I hired him, I don't see David the burger master. I see, man, this guy. Now, I might be unaware of my own wisdom, and he's unaware of his own wisdom. But if we were to micro-analyze our own wisdoms, remember, he is the burger master, and I recognize the burger greatness in David Doan. So I see that when he's flipping the burgers, think about the craftsmanship here. I mean, we're making a silly mushroom, but think about it, right? What would have happened if I said, okay, before I hire you, I would like to see you flip the burger, David. And he says, oops, on the floor. All right, try again. And as he's like diddle-doddling around, and okay, you know what? I really need help. I'm going to hire you anyways. Not the same as if he's like the guy who's worked at like every restaurant in town. And he's got it. He's doing it. And look at this. 40 people came. David, I need you to start now. And he's like, no problem. He's in there. He's got the headband on. And he's doing it. This guy's running the whole show. I hired the right guy. Man, what would I have done if you weren't here? You are the burger master.
That's the muzzle.
That's the shefa.
The shefa, okay.
You have such a wisdom. You must have done this before. You must have done... Well, truth be told, my wife and I own a burger store. And we made a couple bad investments and it went under, but I kind of am the burger master. And it's a lowly job, but I'm working my way up. God may have taken away a bit of your shefa, but you are a shefa guy. So I'm saying, if I hire you, you're going to bring me shefa. Everyone's going to come eat at my cafes. You know how to run it. Now, I think we've all been in a similar, even in our youth or whatever, where this has happened, right? I know when I worked at a kitchen at a comedy club in high school. I got hired by the guy who had no business running the kitchen. Right? Just a regular Pasha guy, And he got fired. And they hired, we called him Chef Roger. And he was the classic kitchen guy. The drunk. What do you call it when you get caught drinking and driving here? DUI?
Yeah, I guess that was
driving under the influence.
Yeah, that's right.
So he's one of those guys that lost his license a couple of times. The classic guy. You're getting drunk at the bar till whatever hour, right? The point is, before this job, before he got in trouble, he was the head chef at one of the top restaurants in Dayton, where I'm from. So he brought to this goofy little comedy club like a garlic steak and the huge things. And like little David Katz, like 17 years old, working in the kitchen, just watching like he was a master. He really was a master. But he had no other job, and he had to get his girlfriend to drive him to work because he couldn't drive anymore. So he had to resort to working in Joker's Comedy Cafe. And you can see the shefa. And you better believe we sold out. Before that, we've sold chicken wings and hot dogs. When he got hired, it was like people were coming to the comedy club to eat, let alone the comedy. That's called shefa. Right? Now, it's dangerous shefa because he's an alcoholic and this and that. But you understand, he had chokhmah, he had shefa, and it was mazel that he ended up there. I was with him in all the conditions. Can we all see this?
Yep.
So, lowly world, we get stuff. And then when it comes in abundance, that mazel, it's shefa. Up above, God is doing something with the up aboveness. Right? And that's not our business. But whatever it is, it's sublime. Not sublime to you because you have no kesher to it. With God doing God stuff. And it's the same principle. Mazel, Shefa, is coming into the world. Even wisdom. Then, let's say it goes through the middle worlds where God does stuff with it, prepares it, not our business also, and it comes down here. Torah, Judaism, Kabbalah is the study and art form of many things, not necessarily in a linear order, in a particular order, just kacha. It's called I have stuff, and it's amazing. And I need to learn how to appreciate and recognize how amazing it is. And it comes to me by an amazing process. And it entered the creation by an amazing process. And God constantly creates the world through this process. It's never not amazing. It's always amazing. But God created the world where He is concealed from this world. And we take it as the wife, the kids, flipping burgers, Aunt Martha. It's not interesting at all. What's missing is what? The revelation of Mazel.
That's aware of God. Of Mazel itself.
Of Mazel itself. So I'll give you another example. A guy from my high school made it to say this properly since we're in the UK here, American football.
Yeah.
You have to be careful with that.
Yeah.
So he became an American football star. And I always like to say that there's a Messiah program of everything, meaning whenever you have a certain wisdom of whatever it is, or infrastructure, something is going to exemplify the thing itself. Right? Like in the stand-up comedy world, like Rodney Dangerfield was the essence of stand-up comedy, you could say, right? You want to argue that point. So my high school was very middle America, American football-ism, all the way, all-American kid, blonde hair, big burly guy, go to, from Ohio, so Ohio State, and be the superstar, and he did it. He was the Ohio football star. Then he went to Ohio State. Then he went to the Green Bay Packers, which, and I don't know how you know about American football, but it's like, the bread and butter of American football. So he did it on every level. I'm only interested in it because he went to my high school. So what they were indoctrinating us was to be him. Before there was a him. That's why I called it the Messiah program. Like he is coming.
Yeah.
And as a Torah scholar, I'm saying like, wow, Centerville really produced the Messiah. Like he's it. They have a whole story about that also, which I'll tell you afterwards. It's an amazing story. But as I was in yeshiva, going to the internet cafe, and watching his career, it's like, this guy is doing it. Like, he is their dream. So, he now has a podcast on YouTube. And I'm saying, like, I'm just attracted to this guy. I got to know his mazel. There's something in my heart telling me I got to, he was just a couple years younger than me. Did I know him? Did I know the family? What was the cashier? I'll just tell you now instead of afterwards. It turns, this is a mazel story, you have no idea. As I'm following the bio written about him, like on the internet, right? It says he has two older brothers, Matt and Ryan. And one is like the quarterback of the football team, and the other one's is Matt. And I'm saying, if my arithmetic is right, he should be right about my grade. I don't know a Matt Hawk. I don't know anybody named Matt Hawk. His name was AJ Hawk, the kid, right? So I saw something on Facebook that tipped me off, and I thought, I'm going to find out. I've had it, I'm going to find out. Go to the dad's Facebook page, Keith Hawk. I'm like, where's this guy met? So then I can't find it. So I go to the brother, Ryan Hawk. I'm like, where's this guy? It has to be. Like when you research mazel, some things just have to be. So I go, and there's guys on a golf course. And there's AJ, the football player. And there's the brother Ryan. And there's the dad Keith. And then far off to the side is a guy I used to wrestle with on the wrestling team named Matt Berkwin. And I'm saying, huh? And he was not exactly an athlete. We kind of made fun of him. I was like, how is that guy in this story? And then I'm reading articles. And this guy, Matt Berkwin, said, like, yeah, AJ. So what was it? My ego And Yitzhar is lying to me saying, David Katz, did you ever think Matt Hawk is actually Matt Bergwin? You have it? It must be like a different stepdad or something. So I'm staring at the picture, looking for Matt Hawk, but a guy named Matt, and I'm telling myself, no, it's not you. It's like Joseph and Judah, right? They're looking at Joseph saying, that's not Joseph. He's like, I'm Joseph. No, you're not. Yes, I am. So you see, Mazel, that's another example of Mazel. You know, I felt it. I searched it out, staring at it. What is it? It's like water from a faucet. No, it's not. It's boring.
So you didn't hup it. It was right there. And
right in front of my face the whole time.
It.
I'm staring at it, telling myself, no, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
So you're pushing the muzzle away.
Right. And when I had to swallow, I felt myself swallow my pride. Did you ever think it's the guy you least expected it? Staring you in the face? And when I hopped it, it's like, wow. Who am I to say that it's, I mean, imagine that. I'm telling him it's not his brother. When it's staring at you. Anyways, that was the Mazel story. So I like watching his podcast on YouTube. And the reason why I'm interested in this guy is he's very articulate. And he's giving over, like, wisdom stuff. He's with it. He's cognitive. And he really gets it. Which is kind of what, I know where he's from. I know the background. I know the school. And it turns out I do know the family. That's the funny thing about it. So, what's he missing? He's missing, he doesn't know that there's a word called chachma, wisdom. He just thinks, I'm a smart guy, I got an angle in life, I got some insight, I got some things, I was successful, made $1 million playing American football. No Jew, I mean theoretically, is there to say, yeah, that's called chachma. Imagine if you knew everything, and there's a Star Trek episode like this. Take away the name David Dunn. You have all your stuff, your pictures, your house, but you don't know it's called David Dunn. Imagine what you'd be trying to say. You'd probably say like, yeah, just, you know, I got this house, and I feel like David Melech sometimes. I don't understand why. And I got this and that. You know, David Melech says it, tell him. You're trying to say it, but you don't. All you need is someone to say, did you ever think maybe your name is David Dunn? So, you see what I'm saying? He's trying to articulate something, and he doesn't know what it is. That's what's missing. Water from a faucet is just water from a faucet. That level of revelation is missing. That's connecting to the mazel. That's what it means to connect to the mazel. Right? I'm just a really good burger flipper. But did you ever think you have a chachma of how to make burgers? Now that's not a small thing. Any chachma you have is an amazing thing. Think about all three of you have jobs, I assume. Right? So here's like on-the-job training right here, right? Think about what you do and the wisdom it requires you to do. Now, don't tell me it's boring and okay, and I'm good at it, but no, it doesn't matter. Think about just what you do and the wisdom it takes to do what you do. It's an incredible thing. It's an incredible thing. And when you realize that you have wisdom, now you have to admit to yourself that you're not devoid of wisdom, which is already a massive chiddush, well beyond what most people are thinking, simply because we come from a culture where we don't accept. When I say accept, meaning
recognize.
It's not.
It's not done to say I'm good at something.
Exactly. Perfect. Right. You don't say, well, I happen to have a great wisdom of eyes and the rest. It's just cut that out. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Humble.
Don't do it. Don't do it. But what if we did do it? What if we did? What if we actually have wisdom? Then, if you have wisdom there, Mustama, you have wisdom in other areas, and maybe you're not such a bad guy after all. Maybe you have views and ideas and ideologies, all kind of things. All that's missing, and intermittently, is what to call those things. So it's Kabbalah is like very, very male-female. I don't mean like man-woman, like screwdriver to screws, like male-female.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. You're missing that positive or negative. Zzz. So mazel, or recognizing the mazel, is the revelation of it here. And I don't want to say it's a simple map like following where it comes from up there. That's oversimplifying it. And it's wrong. But to get into the process, like I was telling you before, right? Just to start investigating it, rather than saying, you're saying I have to have it down here and find it up there, and then I'll have it. No. That's like saying, I'm going to go ask God himself. I'm going to walk up to heaven and ask God. No, you're not. So don't say you are. Just go in, penetrate, investigate. Things that, why is the water from a faucet spiritual, for example, right? You got to get over the hump of it's just water from a faucet, because it isn't. Now, that's a hard one, because that's a hard one to do. But in your...
Because it is water from
a faucet. But you are not. Remember, you are way more shefa than that faucet. You are a neshama, a yachid, chaya, neshama, ruach, nefesh. You are made that faucet look like a faucet.
Right.
So, stop thinking that you're a faucet. Because you're not. You're shefa, and with mazel, and you have certain levels of merit that allow you to look in a mirror and say yes to certain things. And one of my passions is wrestling. I wrestled in high school. So the American messiah of wrestling, I like to use that whole thing, right, is John Smith. He is the greatest American wrestler of all time. I'm not talking professional wrestling, I'm talking like sport. And he won the world championship. He said the hardest thing he ever had to do was the next morning look in the mirror and say, John, you're a world champion. You're the best on the planet. It goes against everything you stood for. Until you get that, you can't say you're the best that there is in America, in the world. That's like putting the cart before the horse. You're destined to fail if you do that. I mean, once in a generation, you get to call your shot before you do it. But after you do it, if you don't do it, you're a criminal to yourself. Right? It's a merit. You merited it. It's done. Now, what are you going to do about it? That's a mazel question. That's a new mazel question. So all the time you see the working together of mazel and merit, all these concepts, shefa, bracha, mazel, merit. Why do good things happen to bad people? Am I good? Am I bad? It's not a dogma. You say, I'm over here, put this there. I'm a good and a bad. This is good. That's bad. It doesn't work that way. It's a cholent. But as the mazel comes into this world, as it's taught in the Zohar, it comes like in chunks. You got in a car accident the other day, right? That's a thing by itself. Someone was good, someone was bad, there was a mazel, there was a bracha, there was a shefa, there was a merit, there was chayim, mazel, and banim, correct? So that's a proper thing to meditate on. And let's meditate on it, ready? Okay, so I don't know if you heard, this guy got a small little whatever, right? Just to bring out, it was an embarrassing deal.
Go ahead.
Right.
Me too.
Okay, so there you can relate. Yeah. So now, I'll go ahead and bring in the whole why do good, bad things happen to good people that we talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have any of you guys ever seen What About Bob?
No.
No? American comedy. He's walking around assuming he's the worst person on the planet. That's not reality. No one does that. Because God is the creator. He creates our psyche. And when you're at peace, right? Basically, I call that moron man mode. When you're in your car and the music's going and you're neutral. David Melech says that is the highest time. When your head is empty, that it means it's filled with God. That's why you don't pay attention. It's not about you. It's God. So already we can take a shortcut and say, whatever's about to happen, is it your fault? Can't be. It's not you. It's God. If it was you, you'd say, wow, I better not hit that car. So why didn't you say that? Because you weren't there. Who was there? God. Where were you? You weren't created. You were created in the absence of God when God left in the Tzimtzum. And then it was like, hey, David, God says, I need you to pay for that. Oh, thanks, God. It's great. That's like King David says every psalm, right? It's like, hey, I'm having fun. And God, hey, you brought me to a dark place here, God. Oh, wow, my enemies are here. Well, God, this is not too fun. God, thanks for saving me. Okay. So now, it's agreed that you're a good person. right?
Because you're neutral and your head's filled with God.
Exactly. You're neutral. You're not a bad person.
So before the accident, when I was just going ho hum da da da, right?
Yeah.
So
You cannot be a criminal because you didn't say you were a criminal. So you had no problems with
I
yourself.
wasn't a bad person that something bad should happen to.
Right.
Right.
If you were, you would say, "Man, I'm a horrible. What did I do?"
Yeah.
You weren't saying that.
Yeah.
So if I were to, cut it out in time and say, "Stop, time out," David Doe, there's a great ad on Facebook where a car was coming out and the guy was speeding. Did you see that on Facebook? And they made it so just before the accident they paused it, and the woman got out of her car, and the man, this is a great video, and the man got out of his car, and the cars were like itching to go, and she says, "What are you doing?" And he says, I didn't see you pull out. You're gonna hit my car. I'm sorry. My kid's in the back seat. It was really amazing. Then they get in their car. Amazing, right? So imagine we do that little game, and you're gonna get. It's very apropos, right? You get out, you say, "David Doan, are you a good guy or a bad guy?"
If I got out.
And talk to yourself.
Talk to myself. Are you a good guy or a bad guy?
I testify I'm a good guy.
Yeah.
I was not thinking that I'm a bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm a good guy. So then we say, right, the court of heaven, right, says, "Okay, David Doe, so you're a good guy. Do bad things happen to good people?" You can say, "Well, Torah says it does."
Bad things happen to good people. If you're a good person, you wouldn't perceive it as being bad.
But, so, what's that?
If you're a good person, you might not perceive that it's bad. You just think it's...
That's at a very high level.
But that's not true.
But that's McDonald's. That's what you're...
That's not true. I'll prove it's not true.
Okay.
Okay, so it's really a good thing if I get in an accident. That's what you're saying.
No, it's a bad thing.
But why can't it be a good thing like you were saying?
Well, can't it be a good thing? It can be a good... I don't know the
Is it good that
if
you don't have the money to pay for it, you're late for work, you may get insurance or someone?
That's going to hurt me a lot.
Right. And don't give me theoretical.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, but stay with nuts and bolts.
God forbid, you lose a limb or something, right?
Shalom, yeah.
Chas v'shalom. But so that you can't say, "Yes, I'm so excited, I lost my left hand today. Thank God."
Yeah.
It's a bad thing.
Right.
Okay, so you're a good person.
Yep.
And something bad can happen to you.
Yes.
And it begs the famous question: why do bad things happen to good people? And I'm a good person. We all said that. And something bad happened to me. So you get on Facebook, "Oh man, I was a good person today, and some horrible person hit my car, and it's going to cost me $500 I don't have, and my boss at work is very angry at me, but I'm a good person." Isn't that what goes on upstairs with people?
Yep.
So what's the real answer to this? What Dave and I were talking about before. You are a bad person. Now, I'm speaking really giving on the nose, right? But we got to keep it in the macro before we sweeten it with the good stuff. Now, really, we're going to say you're not a bad person, but you are a good person and something bad happened to you, so you must be a bad person. Think about the macro. Now, why? I want to change the muscle just to make it a little bit easier to understand, okay? So just slide with me to make it a little easier. You didn't get in a car accident. Your car broke down, right? And we all been there, right? I know I was driving to the... I also had a bad muzzle on Sunday. I don't know if I told you. I think I told you, right? Yeah. My plane was at 7:50 in the morning. I had a little accident. It's called. I was excited and nervous for the trip. I went to bed at 3 in the morning. I had packing to do and everything else. And I set my alarm for 4:30, thinking we're gonna wake up, stretch, have a good morning, go to the airport with headphones on and a martini, and the sunrise on a beautiful beach. You know?
Yeah.
In my mind, I woke up at 6:15. International customs, right, and the security checks. You have exactly 1 hour and 15 minutes to get dressed, get the kids out of the house, in the car, drive to the airport, check in, go through security, get to your gate on time. We did it. Horrible. Why do bad things happen to good people? I was a good person.
Because you're a bad person.
I'm a bad person. Right. So let's use that mushal. Why am I a bad person? So number one, I'm a bad person because I did something bad. Now, let's prove that I did something bad. Something bad happened to me. We can agree about that.
Yep.
Okay. Let's say the bad thing is I went to bed at 3:30 in the morning believing that I'm going to wake up in 1 hour. That's more than enough to travel across the globe and with kids. And I believe in God and I'm a good person. I only need 1 hour. Is that a rational or sane thought?
No.
So, is it an irresponsible thought? I would have missed my flight. I mean, that would have been, now what are we going to do? I'm coming now on Monday. I missed my appointment with Rabbi Kirsch. Now the JLE's gone. I have a bad Rabbi Katz doesn't show up for appointments. Rabbi Katz, it's a burden on people. Rabbi Katz shows up late for appointments. Just look what happened. Now you are a good person. David, I'm not going to be here till Monday. I'm a good person, David Dome says. Why are bad things happening to me? Now he's saying, is my rabbi friend kosher legit? He's blowing me off like this? Then he's upset. And who are you going to yell at? You're going to yell at the kids. Clean up your room.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a good person. I usually clean my room. Why is Dad coming down on me? Then they go to school upset. And the teacher says, I'm a good person. Why is this kid giving me a hard time today? All these good people are having bad things happening to them. Mazel's going around. What was my remedy? I'm an evil person because I lack the fear of God. I'm unaware of God. There is no God. How can I be a good person if I don't believe in God? I don't know enough to be a good person. You have to have a certain wisdom to be a good person. There's no such thing as I'm a good person. You have to know how to be a good person. Right? To really be a good person, you have to have kavanah that you're being a good person. So if I don't know, if I don't have awareness of God, I didn't have the wisdom, what am I? So what's the problem? The problem is I lacked sufficient wisdom of how to travel internationally, go to bed at a good time, what to do if I don't fall asleep in time, i.e., here's like a halakha question almost, right? What do I do if I have a flight at 7:50 and I'm seeing I'm not tired and I'm anxious and I have nerves? I really should go to bed by midnight at the latest. And I know that I can't. I have reason. I'm gonna stay up. I think I may be irresponsible, and I'm gonna sleep in, and it could be disastrous. So let's pretend there's an answer. We'll make it up. It's called the get on a plane pill. You go to your pharmacist and you say, "Look, I need to get on the plane pill. I need the pill that you take and knocks you out, but so that you can wake up and hear the alarm clock." They have a pill like this now. It's called the get on the plane pill. So if I knew about the get on the plane pill, that would show that I have a prerequisite wisdom that shows responsibility. It's like not driving when you're drinking and driving, right? Like I'm traveling and I'm saying, I know that I'm dangerous because I'm going to sleep in. I'm going to take the pill, tell my friends, good night, I'll see you in person in South Africa, and I'm going to then close my eyes and go to sleep. That would have been a responsible choice. I would have guaranteed to wake up on time. Yada, yada, yada. I would have risen to the level of a good person. The bad thing.
By being aware of what you needed to do.
Exactly. I'm fully cognitive.
Staying aware of it.
Aware of the mazel.
Yeah.
The mazel, the shefa, the bracha, the merit, everything. The bad thing doesn't happen to me. I fixed it. Bad things don't happen to me on that level. So I remain a good person. I don't have to question why do bad things happen to good people. I must not be a good person. I am a good person because I get on planes at the right time. Now, I'm going to find a pitfall somewhere else. So in the airport, I stepped on someone's toe. Well, what's the problem? Well, she yelled at me and made me feel horrible. Oh, so bad things happen to good people. Why'd you do that? Well, I was in a rush. Oh, so you weren't being patient. It's infinite. The answer is you are a good person. Because God loves you. God's with you. You have a soul. But you have a sickness. It's called I'm a created human being in this lowly world, and I'm separate and divorced from my mazel, and I was created to learn, to grow, and become aware of God so that I can complete myself and be davek to Hashem, serve God with wholeness. And God knows He created the world, the Yetzer Hara. We can call the Yetzer Hara a lack of wisdom, a lack of fear of heaven, right? Whatever you want to fill in the blanks with these words and concepts. So when you say you're a bad person, it's not you are existentially bad. You are susceptible to bad things. It's called mitzvahs and averas. Sometimes I do a mitzvah. Sometimes I do an avera. I did an avera by going to bed at 3:30 in the morning. My mother, thank God, did a mitzvah called waking up at 6:15 and not 6:30. 6:30 would have been a horrible set of circumstances. That was mazel for my behalf. But here's where it's witchcraft. It's not just mazel. It's merit. Because if you, the more I grow older and get to know my mother as an adult, that was not mazel. She wakes up every morning at that time. That was merit, not mazel. I merited to have a mother who does not wake up beyond 6:15. It's impossible to have slept in. So on one hand, it was my mazel. Thank God I didn't sleep in. On the other hand, you have two little kids and a mother that wake up every morning at 6:15. You were never going to miss a fight. Thank God you have a mother. That's the merit. But you didn't know that till you knew that it was mazel. How are we doing on time?
It's we're coming to a few
About
minutes.
an hour, so we'll stop recording there. I'll leave it running anyways.
Yes, I'll wrap it up. I've got mine on you anyway.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, so the problem with that, what you're saying, the problem I have with that, is that you're saying that okay, we're all doing averas. Okay, we're not perfect people.
Right.
Everyone, even Moshe Rabbeinu. So you know, so you're going to be doing averas.
Right.
I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
But
it's perfect, apparently.
certain things. So therefore, I can say, okay, so I also had this like car accident. Okay, so maybe I deserved it on one. You're almost saying I deserved.
Not deserved it. Wait, that's merit. That's merit. You're saying I deserved it. God dished it out to me. No.
You're saying because of my
mazel,
because of my avera. But
you did not learn the wisdom of how to avoid the accident. And through mazel, you can reclaim the wisdom.
By being aware more of the Shem.
Yeah, but what about
Staying aware, being
a
prepared
relative of mine was in
to
Mumbai,
avoid becoming
up
to
in
the
a
bad.
terrorist thing. You know,
Okay.
and that's, I mean, what?
That's how you change it.
I mean, that's like the Holocaust question, really. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, this happens.
Well,
to him, so what,
yeah.
how can you equate that?
Because you are a created, limited being.
Yeah.
You cannot be expected to have all the wisdom in the world. But at the same time, you can. Meaning, if you're constantly getting wisdom, constantly, you can avoid certain things. Now, back up 1 second, right? There is something called death. Why do we die? Think about that. Why does anyone die? And the answer is very simple. And this is not a rationalist answer. It's the answer. Think about this. This is a major chap. God forbid, death, because you were not wise enough. Name me one death that ever happened that wasn't because of a lack of wisdom. I'm not saying because I didn't merit the wisdom. Taka, you did not have the wisdom. Period. I don't care why or how. You just didn't. Name me anybody that died. Pick anybody and figure out why they died. An old woman named Martha once died because of a stroke. Did you all know Martha? You knew Martha. Sad story. She died of a stroke. Fictitious Martha. What wonderful woman. We can't call her an evil woman, can we?
No.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Why did she die? Because she did not have the wisdom to take care of her body on the level of the tree of life. She let herself get cholesterol levels and
high blood pressure.
Now, she was doing mitzvahs all the time, but she did not take care of herself. Now, is that a crime? No. God puts you in a world of good and evil for the sake of reward, and you get judged on how you did. Everybody dies in the curse of the snake. Now, Ultimately speaking, in Gan Eden, are you a Russia because you died? No. But did you die because of your own evil? When Martha was going out, did she say, oh, I messed up? Yes, she did. Because you don't have the right to judge her, neither do I. But Martha's going to judge herself. Right. When she realizes the doctor was right, my cholesterol is going to take me out. And when she felt the soul go, and she realized they were right. You cannot ignore reality. She died.
What about a young baby?
What about it? Also.
A young baby's not even Jewish thought, not meant to have responsibility for their own errors, are they?
It's harder, but it's the same thing. Why would a baby die? Give me an example. So let's say the baby died, someone dropped it on his head, God forbid. Right? Irresponsible babysitter. Let's call it that. The irresponsible 8-year-old babysitter dropped the baby. Right? Now, who's the imbecile here that hired an 8-year-old babysitter for this baby? That's an evil act. Let's call it that for lack of a better term. So, Dad is not thinking. Dad has no wisdom. Dad's got a major problem. You could even argue Dad, I'm not going to say literally responsible, but Dad's own cheshbon nefesh, Dad's kind of responsible. The baby is an extension of Dad, at least on a philosophical level. But that's where you get into the Kabbalah, and particularly the Vilna Gaon's and Shlema, right? And Shargol Gulam, Book of Reincarnations. Because it's a baby. Now you got to look a little bit more up and not so much here. Because that baby's not so much here. And I'll prove it to you. Is a baby worthy of Chaim, Mazon, and Banim? Not really. So the mazel is not really defined. Now it's a matter of merit. So that's what this book talks about here. Why did the baby merit a horrible father? And this Prat, maybe a great guy, but this Prat. So that's it. That's the difference between mazel and merit. God said, you're great, you're talented, you're going to be the best. And your dad's kind of not too bright. So the baby and the soul come in this world. And guess what happened? Dad wasn't too bright. You know, I had the same complaint. I was supposed to be the world's greatest wrestler. I don't know if you know this. It was written about in all the newspapers. I was supposed to be the best. And I was wrestling when I was 17. And I dislocated, the kid I wrestled broke my elbow, dislocated my elbow. True story. Also about me being the best. Just kidding. so I went to take him down, and I posted my arm, and he shot his shoulder through. All of a sudden, David Katz, the world's greatest wrestler, never happened. Why? I had everything. I had strength and speed and desire and skill, except I had no brain and no wisdom. I was my own worst enemy. So you can fill in that blank. You know, God made the perfect wrestler in me, but I merited zero wisdom. And that manifested itself all throughout my life. That's why I got to yeshiva when I finally saw that I was killing myself in many areas, like we all do. I realized, you know what, David Katz? Wisdom seems to be your weak point because you have none of it, and what your dreams and desires require a lot of it. So the only answer is get to Israel and go to yeshiva. Change your mazel. All of your problems are because you don't have wisdom. Everyone's problem. So when you recognize the wisdom you're missing, you either preempt life, or life will tell you, did you know you were going 10 miles per hour or whatever, over the speed limit, sir? We're going to let you know. We're not going to do that again, are you? We're going to charge you 100 pounds. Now you got the wisdom. On Main Street Avenue over there, don't speed. I now know that. So don't you feel like a horrible person when this has happened to you? When you don't pay a bill on time, right? It's like, or you pay whatever it is, a fine. You feel like an evil person. Like, man, I didn't think I'm the kind of guy not to pay a bill. I'm horrible. So what caused it? You weren't paying attention. You didn't have the wisdom. eventually you'll get the wisdom, or you'll learn for next time.
So I can say, like, when I did my recent car accident, so yeah, I can say maybe I was too much of a hurry. I can relate to that. So I can say, okay, so there's certain things maybe I should have just been a bit more patient. Yeah, whatever.
But if you fine tune it, you can locate the missing wisdom.
Yes, in that case,
I can every case is individual.
I understand.
Right.
And I can say, yeah, if I'd been a bit more careful.
Yes.
But surely there are things that is really nothing to do with me or nothing to do with us.
Name one in your life.
Well, let's say.
Just speaking hypothetically.
Okay, I'm looking at this hypothetically where the car was. Say my car was just there. I was just waiting, doing exactly the right thing, waiting, and say somebody just drove into me. God forbid.
Why do bad? You're saying why do bad things happen to good people?
And let's say in that particular case, I was doing exactly the right thing.
Right.
I did everything right. I can in my previous example, which actually happened, I can
prove to you did something right.
Okay, what did I do right?
Why were you there?
Because I was driving to.
Obviously, it's a dangerous spot. You entered yourself in a dangerous spot.
No, it didn't have to be a dangerous spot. Somebody might have.
But it is.
Only.
You didn't know until it happened. But I guarantee you, if you look and research enough, you will find where there was a missing wisdom. It's impossible not to. It doesn't blame you.
No, I'm not trying to blame you.
But if you dig, look, David and I did an experiment for you guys camp. It was a brilliant experiment. So I said, have you... I'll do the experiment now, right? Let's do it now. Okay. We're changing it slightly, but we'll do it, right? Imagine there's some kind of intellectual seminar, blah, 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 and Greenland comes up. What do you guys think about Greenland?
Don't know, never been there. Wide open spaces.
Yeah. Do you know anything about it?
Ice. I don't know. I imagine like sort of ice floats and things, and maybe animal. I don't know what. I don't know who lives. What animal? A lot of wildlife.
So you just gave us your dissertation of Greenland.
I don't know enough about it.
Right. We don't know enough, but you described it for us.
I tried.
Here's a trick question. Ready? Did you ever think to look it up on Wikipedia and find out what exactly is going on in Greenland?
I could do.
You could, but you won't.
Well,
but you could now.
Yeah.
But that's it. I made this guy look it up. I made him look it up.
Okay.
Did you find out new stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
I made him dig.
Yeah. In
the most boring, benign research project possible.
Mm-hmm.
And there was hidden wisdom that he didn't know.
Yeah, that I can understand.
Right, so in everything, there's always something to look up and find that you didn't know. Always. You may be splitting hairs, but you'll find it.
I was once on a train, and somebody just like next to me, he just like opened his arms up like that and like hit me slightly. It wasn't a big deal.
Right.
It's a big deal. It was just a bit of a shock, I just went like that. But I think he actually did it because it was just a reflex. I don't think he meant to do it.
I'll give you an example.
But
I'll give you an example. What kind of car do you drive?
Toyota Corolla.
Okay, and who hit you? What kind of car?
It was a bigger car. I don't know what it was.
All right, now I'm going to speak hypothetically, and I don't mean this to be the truth.
Yeah.
But let's pretend it could lead to the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you got a Corolla got hit by. What did you say it was?
A bigger, more of a.
Right.
What do they call them?
People carrier.
Yeah.
What one?
People carrier.
Something like that. Yeah. I think
what would you think if you stopped driving the Corolla, you started driving a semi truck or dump truck? Mm-hmm. I want you to start driving a dump truck.
Mm-hmm. A really big one.
Really big.
Yeah.
Chances are they probably wouldn't hit you. You would stick out like a sore thumb.
Yes. Less of a chance.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're guilty for driving a Corolla. Now I'm saying that for a reason. Because yes. What are the chances that you may be driving the wrong car? For exactly what God has decreed for your exact need. I'll give you an example also. A good example. I live in Modin in Israel. And before that I lived in Sfat. Everybody asks me, why do you live in Modin? And what's my answer? Because it's the exact place I need to live. Now, I'm not, maybe it's not, but as far as my calculations show, I needed it close to the airport, modern enough for my mother to help out. It's brilliant for kids, and I'm in the age for kids. My kids are 8 and 7. So, what are my choices? I need suburbia type, great for kids, airport, and you look around, Modin, it's X marks the spot. Now, okay, I could be a good person if something bad will happen to me, okay, God forbid, and then I'll just have to rethink things, but at the same time, it looks like the right decision. So, when we are looking to receive, remember, it's the mazel, banim chayim mazon, car is mazon. I'm not blaming saying you're wrong, but in theory, it could be something else, but saying in theory, what are the chances that you may be driving the wrong car or something like it? Maybe you left 5 minutes too late, 5 minutes too early. Something's off.
Yeah, in that example I can think about, I was just thinking more in a hypothetical one, where somebody just if I'd have just been driving exactly correctly and somebody just by chance hit me, had that happened.
How about this? My mother wakes up at 6:15 every morning.
Yes. What
if she would have woken up at 6:30? Then I'd be crying the blues. Why do bad things happen to good people? I missed my flight. And I would say, man, the guy at the airport, he was taking so long and he didn't know that I had no time to spare to get up to my gate. If he would have woken up 5 minutes earlier.
No, but that one I can see. That one I can understand more.
Some can, but the point is, sometimes it might be Greenland. It takes real digging. Obviously you're not guilty for getting a car accident, right?
Yeah.
But if you really work on yourself and dig, right?
You find something.
You got to find something. Because it happened. If it wouldn't have happened, we can't say, well, you're lucky it didn't happen. But because it happened.
You're saying it was meant to be.
And because it was meant to be, that shefa and mazel, and it leaves a trail of wisdom. And by definition, everything has wisdom. Nothing is without wisdom. Now, are you obligated to repair yourself because of their Israel called a fadicha, their embarrassment? No. But you can. And, it's not like you have to, right? But if you meditate on those things, it's like a real living Torah. It'll only benefit you.
Yeah, so I can understand that you can learn from everything that happens.
Right.
You can find something there.
But it could be an eitzah that next time you won't get hit.
That's true.
It could be, what color is your car?
Green.
It could be it could be this. I'm making this up, right? Statistically, white cars don't get hit as much as green cars.
Could be.
Right, but that's the thing. It could be.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying speculate on every little.
But there's something that you can draw from it.
Right. Only you have the answers. You can't let me say, well, if you had a green car, you have a white car. But you know your mazel. This is the whole point. Only you know your mazel.
But what about my nephew-in-law that got blown up in Mumbai? For example, or the Holocaust victim. That's that's more serious.
It's the answer of Job.
Yeah.
Only Job knows Job's problems. You don't have the right to say, Job, it's because kacha, kacha, kacha.
No.
But Job knows. That's the chiddush of Job. Job knows. If I would have missed my flight, David Doan would have gone on the internet, poor Rabbi Katz. He missed his flight. He wanted to come so bad. The answer is, David Katz is an idiot and he slept in because he didn't take the get up on time pill. Don't feel sorry for me. Even though I'll make you feel sorry for me. Right? But I know my own problems.
But you think that everyone deserves it?
Deep down,
yes,
there's a wisdom. Deep down. Now, is it pleasant to lose somebody? No. But is there a wisdom to it, ultimately speaking? Yes. That doesn't mean guilt or verdict. It just means there's a reason. There's a reason. And it could be, why does somebody go to Mumbai? There's a spark of Kedusha there they need to get. So there's a reason why God sends the soul there. And it's to do a tikkun. It's not because the beach is a fun place to go, whatever it is. Everything is a vote of Hashem. And there's a rationale and a mochin that God does it. right? And it attracts mazel. And the chiddush is, Chaim, Mazon, and Banim is never pleasant. Shefa is not a pleasant thing. If you're hungry, you would love a loaf of bread. But that's not Shefa. That's McDonald's. I'm going to give you wheat. I'm going to dump in your front yard a ton of wheat. Say, hey, here you go, man. Enjoy. Why do that? You wanted Mazon. I literally gave you your Mazon. I had it. Why are you mad at me? I don't have the wisdom to make literal bread. Oh, so you want McDonald's. So get on Google, go on YouTube, and find out how to make bread. If you're hungry enough, you'll do it. Life is like that. I was complaining all day on Monday. Why the one day I got to get to Golders Green, it's got to rain at 6 or 7 in the morning? It couldn't have been the sunny day for me. One day, seriously. How cliche can you be? I go to London, it's raining. But thank God I had the jacket with the hood. Okay, God is good. So, there's always this stuff. It's never pleasant. But the sweetening is when you discover the truth. It's more about the discovery than the verdict. It was decreed on me, it was going to rain on my day. People are decreed life and death. But the discovery of the mazel is where the real enlightenment comes from. And it comes through pain. But you can say, instead of why bad things happen to people, why do the righteous suffer? Not only am I good, but I'm righteous. So that's a real question I struggle with a lot. I forgot to write this down. I had this on Mamash had this walking to the kollel today. This is Mamash Achab. I don't know if it's true yet, but I'm going to say it anyways. Why do the righteous suffer? Another way of saying, why do we suffer? So I thought, I was going to the kollel today, and think about what I'm saying is this, and we talked about it today. I'm saying, man, this is horrible. What was so bad about the walk? I'll give you a hint. On the walk home, it was lovely. Trick question then. What was my problem?
Your perception.
Yes. I'm thinking, how far do I really got to go? Am I going the wrong way? It's not exactly as Davidson explained it to me. This is, and I'm complaining the whole way. And then when I got there, oh, okay, it wasn't so bad. So going back home, okay, cross the bridge, walk down the street, go over there. So perception boggled my mind. And it created tension. My calves started to burn. And I was saying, ow, it hurts. And I thought, what is pain? And I thought, a cow lives with pain in the animal kingdom. We complain with pain. Why? Because we don't know where it comes from. But the animal kingdom is just when acute pain is when the gazelle is being eaten by the lion. And it's like, why is it doing that? Is God cruel? Because when pain comes upon you suddenly, it's perception. Where's that coming from? I wasn't planning on being eaten by a lion today. But eventually, the animal kingdom says, oh, okay, I'm a gazelle. He's a lion. What do I do? He's going to eat me. So I realized, and I mamash had this cop, I said, did you ever think that it's a little longer of a walk than you thought? And mamash had this thought. I'm going up the stairs of the bridge over there, and I thought, you know what? This is what it's like to be a grown man. You're not 20 years old where you don't feel any pain. You learn just to live with pain. It's called my legs hurt. I'm a little bit tired. And just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And it was the perception that caused it. And it was the lack of perception that said, why am I in pain? I.e., why don't I know where I'm going? And it seems much worse than it is. All it was pain coming in, suffering. But all the suffering was a lack of wisdom. Again, it was a lack of wisdom. The whole time.
Yeah, we were talking before about this rabbi who's not so well at the moment. I don't know. Hopefully he'll be okay. But he's got cancer or whatever.
Yeah.
And what's he meant to learn?
But that's his business.
That's his business,
right? But you can't analyze Job. That's the meaning of Job in the Torah. Job knows why he's suffering. You could have had compassion on me today. This poor guy, he's in London, he doesn't know where he's going, he looks lost. I knew my own Mishigas. I don't need you making justifications for me. I found my answer. I know why I'm suffering. Because it's the shock of it coming on. All the suffering was me arguing and saying, why do I have to suffer? Only because it suddenly came on.
Yeah, but then you said, maybe that's what I have to say.
Right. Well, there's suffering. Once you accept it, you no longer have to question it. If you're not questioning it, it doesn't exist. Once I wrestled and got over the hump, that it hurts. Did it hurt anymore? The answer is no, but why? It didn't stay in my head. It went away. I went back to being a good person. And bad things don't happen to me. Because I got the wisdom. Righteous don't suffer. You understand? I went through the sugya. I went through the phase of why do bad things happen to good people. Why did Davidson tell me the wrong direction to the kollel? All right, I had the bad thing happen to me. I wrestled through it. It's called, just keep going, and it's a bit uncomfortable. Once you settle that score, that's wisdom. Once you have the wisdom, I didn't ask why I'm in pain. So if you're going to drive by and say, poor guy looks like he's suffering, you're wrong and a liar. I'm not suffering. I forgot all about it until you reminded me. Now you're my problem.
There are people suffering out there.
But not necessarily. He may have already tackled his issue. You don't have the right to say he's suffering. Now, if at the very moment of the bridge, you would have asked me, how are you feeling? I would say, this is horrible on my legs. But I'll tell you a joke on that point. Ready?
Have to stop after this, yeah?
Yeah. George Carlin says, people say things that make no sense. How you doing? I'm fine and dandy. He said, I don't know about you, but there's times that I've been fine. Not quite dandy. In the vicinity of dandy. Approaching dandiness. Not quite dandy. One time in 1964, I was sitting on a park bench and I was feeling fine and dandy. But there was nobody around to ask me how I was. I considered a lost opportunity. So, where were you feeling bad for me at that 1 second when I asked myself, why are my legs burning? You weren't there. In fact, nobody cared about me. All of London, no one cared about to my care. But now, after I conquered I reclaimed my righteousness, so to speak, and my goodness, now you want to say, poor guy. No. That pain, there's no pain here.
Yeah.
No, but I can understand on one level. I had a cousin who died.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't so young actually, but she was actually really just so at peace with it. She was just so at peace. You wouldn't believe it. She was religious, stroke spirit. She was religious actually, but she was really just like resigned, but in a positive way. Just that I feel like she was. Everybody else, I was in tears and stuff, but yeah, she was absolutely fine with it. So I can understand that. Yeah, she'd actually that fits in with what you're saying, and she was at.
Right.
I don't think I would have been in that situation, but she was.
But there
must be people that aren't, though. There must be
right.
People that aren't.
Right, because we can from wisdom. I mean, none of us in this room ever died, right? Because we're alive. So.
Well, that's another story.
But when, has everybody in this room had a wake up call?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you have the wake up call, what happens? You realize you were wrong and they were right.
Yeah.
Death is no different. It's just the ultimate of that. There's something that's going to kill you. I mean, God forbid. But I'm saying, when the time comes, whatever it is, and again, only from the wisdom of Torah, I can't speak from experience, right, on this one. But we have to assume, when it happens, first of all, you get revelation of the Shekhinah. So it's an amazing revelation. Dying, the gazelle realizes he's supposed to go out that way. When you're supposed to go, you're going to realize that's when you get your mazel, number one. You know that it's real, and Shemayim's opening up to you, number one. Number two, if you're not at peace with it, you're going to understand that thread that you just didn't conquer. Let's say I have an anger issue, and from the time I'm 5. Davy, you better work on that anger issue. You know, God's going to get you for that. No, God, 15 years old. You got a bad attitude. You better work on that. 25, 30, 50. You nasty old man, God's going to get you. And then, that last moment, the nurse is coming in, and he peacefully died in his sleep. And he was angry when he went out. I wanted my dinner. I can't get one last carrot before I die, God. The hospital had good carrots and no other good food, but they had good carrots. You can't. I died 5 minutes before dinner. They couldn't give me the carrots before I went out one last time. Seriously, I blame you, and you. Boo-hoo. Right? And he goes out. I mean, the point is that scenario. Follow that through. He's going to make sense out of that. It's going to make sense. Now, bringing the Holocaust and cancer and all these things, it will make sense. At some point in the process, it will make sense. Whether it's the Merid, Mazel, whatever he had to come in this world, a Gilgal of Rabbi Akiva, whatever it is, it will work out. It will work out. And there